going to hit a slow roller to third. Bill Miller thinks he's going to throw him out. And he thought right. And there's more where that came from later in these highlights. Bases loaded. D-backs already up 2-zip. Luis Gonzalez lines that Gardner pitch to right field. Schilling and Womack score. 4-zip Arizona. In the top of the seventh, 5-1 D-backs. It's Miller with more leather larceny. And it's Bautista once again this time. Okay, it wasn't a double play, but it was close. Kurt Schilling had it working Friday. Armando Rios later. Doug Mirabelli. Hasta la vista, baby. Ramon Martinez. Asseyez-vous. That's French for you may be seated. Schilling strikes out the side. He had 10 Ks. He had lost 5 straight over 6 starts before finally getting the job done on Friday. No score. Jones with a shot. 2 outs. It's high, and it's, well, it's an out. All right, Orlando Cabrera with a simple catch. But wait, Jones complains that the ball hit the roof or a speaker or something up there. The umpires come out, and they listen, and they talk about it. The managers come out. They're not happy about it, and eventually he was called out. Back to the action now. Javi Lopez saying, fastball up, please, Kevin. Millward delivers, and Cabrera delivers as well. Gone, his 13th of the season. Second straight game with a homer, 4-zip Expos. Then it's Jones. How do you spell revenge? You spell it H-O-M-E-R-U-N. His 33rd, a 3-run shot, all on 2 outs. Braves were down 5-4. But then Vlad Guerrero would score on this Jeff Blom base hit to left center field. Blom 3 for 4. His average up to 295. He has 45 RBI on the season. And would you believe it? The Expos come away with a victory. Now, despite going 1 for 4, Guerrero is still batting .422 in the month of September. City of brotherly love. Philly stake anybody? To the action. Mike Piazza bombing Randy Wolf. 25th jack given up this season by Wolf. 4-3 Mets. Number 37 for Piazza in the top of the 6th. Bottom 8 now. Pat Burrell gets it done. John Franco serves up 3 runs on 3 hits in a third of an inning, including number 17 of the season for Burrell. 7-6 Mets. Later, it's Piazza again. Top of the 9th inning off Chris Brock. He K'd 2 Mets batters, only gave up 1 hit, but it was a doozy. Piazza's second homer of the game, 9-6 New York. Then it's up to Armando Benitez. Doug Glanville, you may be seated. That's a team record, 39 saves for Armando. The Mets played 4 in the 6th and 2 more in the 9th. Daniel checking out the action. Bottom 2, 2-1 Tribe. Johnny Damon with a base hit down the right field line. Carlos Fabulous on his way to score the tying run. Manny Ramirez to Ravi Alomar to Sandy Alomar Jr. You are out of there. The score stays 2-1. Here comes the rain again, falling on my head like a memory. Sorry, Annie. Oh, yeah, and 1 hour, 50-minute rain delay. Back to the action, top 4, still 2-1. 2 outs, 2 on. Ravi Alomar, fly ball to right center field. Beltran, leather larceny. What a catch. Saves at least a run. Bottom 8, 2-2. Greg Zahn. Greg, do you know Paula? She's a great journalist, and Greg's a pretty good baseball player. 7th homer of the year. Royals get a 3-2 victory. KC's bullpen with 6, count them, 6 shutout innings. Impressive indeed. Omar Vizquel, valiant in defeat. 3 for 3 with an RBI. Mariners saying thanks. Nicely done. First inning, 1-zip ace. Freddie Garcia to Eric Chavez. Bases loaded. He drills a liner into right field. Randy Velarde and Matt Stairs say thanks. We think we'll be scoring. 3-zip the A's out in front. The next batter, Jeremy Giambi. Oh, boy. Here comes a shot. Rips that shot to the right side. Look at the save by McLemore. But Giambi beats it out anyway. 2 runs would score. A's up 5-zip after 1. Bottom 2, Jay Buhner facing Omar Olivares. Olivares had it working. Later, gone. 4 strikeouts on the night, 5 innings of work, just gave up 4 hits. Top 3, Giambi up again, 2 runners on. That's a fly ball to right field. Jay Buhner running, sliding, catching. That would save a couple of runs. Top of the 5th inning, it would still be 5-1. Miguel Tejada with 2 runners on, rips it down the left field line. Where's Ben Grieve? Oh, there's Ben Grieve. He would score on the double. 7-1 A's. They go on to get an 8-3 victory. A's have won 8 of 11 against Seattle this year. Tejada with a 3 for 4 night, including his 31st. Aaron Erstad, who had a 2 for 5 night on Friday, raising his average up to 356 with that shot up the middle. Kapler misplays it. Molina scores. Halos up 2-1, top 7. Bottom 7. Shigetoshi Hasegawa to Frank Catalinato up the middle. Adam Kennedy, close play at first. Catalinato said, hey, I'm safe. I got to be safe. First base umpire Brian Gorman, however, begged to differ. Eventually, Mike DeMuro would step in and send Catalinato to the showers early. Friday, first inning, no score. Bernie Williams, Shadrach, Jorge Posada, Meshack, and a little Abendigo. It's Jose Vizcaíno, who was 0 for 4. Dave Justice, no peace. 9 Ks on the night for Nomo. He had 8 Ks through 3 innings. Davey Cruz, 2 for 4 on Friday and 3 RBI. He picks up 2 the best way he can. His 9th Jack of the year, 77 RBI on the season. Top of the 6th innings, where we take you next. Bases loaded, 1 out, game tied at 2. Denny Nagel's pitch is wild, all the way to the backstop. Damian Easley says, thanks, I think I'll be scoring. 1 of 2 Yankee errors, 3-2 Tigers. Bottom 7, 7-4 Tigers. It's Posada. Ground ball up the middle. Leather, larceny. Jose Macias. What a stop. Tigers hang on for the victory. Longest losing streak for the Yanks since September of 1997. The Bombers have lost 8 of 9 since they were out in front of the division by 9 games. Getting up 3, 2-1. Brad Ratke to Frank Thomas. Now Thomas gets the single to left. Jock Jones's throw is high, and so Ray Durham, who was held at third, decided to come on home to score. He's saved. Sox tied at 2, but take another look. Durham hits the ground very hard and takes A.J. Pierzynski's cleats right to the side and the knee to the head. Oh, man, right to the same spot, in fact, on the side. Then later, a frightening moment. Check out our spot shadow. He takes his position in the bottom of the 3rd. He starts to jog, and then Durham just collapses. People were in shock all around. He appeared very dazed. Trainers tried to bring him around with smelling salts. His manager, Jerry Manuel, concerned. Durham carted off, taken to a local hospital. He was just shaken up on the play at home. Now apparently he's fine. Back to the action. Paul Konerko, 3 for 4, including that shot, his 20th of the year, 51st homer of his career. His batting average up to .304, and it's a 5-4 victory for the White Sox. Their magic number.
Walks 2 batters to load the bases, and then walks Fernando Tatis. Fernando Vina scores his 1-zip card. Same inning, 2 batters later. Oh, and he uncorks the wild pitch. Wood, 1 1/3 innings, walked 8, the shortest outing of his career. Dale Kyle going for win number 20. Damon Buford going for the downs. And if it's possible to make a nonchalant over-the-shoulder catch, Jim Edmonds just did it. Easy as you please. Bottom 8, 4-3 cards. Runners on the corners for Buford again. Dave Veers saws him off, but Veers does a little juggling act, and he's got nobody. We're all tied up at 4. Top 9, we're still tied. Edmonds on first, and they've got him in a pickle. It's a rundown. Edmonds trying to stop and turn, and he twists the knee right there. He would not return, although the Cardinals say he should play on Saturday. Bottom 9 still tied. Runner on second for Ricky Gutierrez, and Ricky launching to left, and that will find the ivy, and the Cubs will find the win as Eric Young trots on home. 5-4 your final. So Kyle fails in his bid to become the first Cardinal pitcher to win 20 since John Tudor and Joaquin Andujar both did it in '85. Kyle will probably get only 1 more start.
Said there'd be days like this. They're the heaters. Ryan Dempster, though, hey, don't eat unless you have enough for everyone, young man. Okay, I give him an A for being resourceful. To the action now, top of the 3rd, tied at 2. Preston Wilson. That's a fly ball. Long fly ball, and that's a souvenir for the dugout. Make that the bullpen. They were up 3-2 were the Fish. Later, Jeff Cirillo right up the middle. Oh, but look at the defense. Incredible, Luis Castillo. Oh, yeah, getting it done as the Fish beat their expansion brethren from Colorado. Brad Penny now 3-0 over his last 4 starts. Todd Helton in a losing cause does go 2 for 4. He also records his 58th double.
Astros and Reds just for the heck of it. Jose Lima, well, he's added another pitch to the repertoire, the gopher ball. Michael Tucker in search of favorite home run call here. It's 6-1 Cincy, and it was not done. Still in the 2nd inning, Sean Casey at the bat. This is for the NL record. Which record? The dubious home runs allowed record. Jose Lima allows his 47th. Lima en route to his 16th loss of the year. It's all about the home run. Top 9, Lance Berkman batting. He takes Scott Sullivan the other way, and Third Astro home run of the game. They set an NL record for team homers with 240, but the Reds win the game anyway. Lima snaps Robin Roberts' NL record for home runs allowed, set 44 years ago. Bert Blyleven holds the major league record with 50, 9 home runs in all in this one. The Pirates and Brewers are washed. They'll play 2 Saturday. The Jays try to take care of their own business against the D-Rays. Bottom 6, 1-0 D-Rays. Carlos Delgado up the middle. Oh, Felix Martinez, the belly flop. And the throw on. Delgado 0 for 4. Left 4 on base. Top 7, Kelvin Escobar to Greg Vaughn. 2-2 game, and Vaughn delivers. Just his 73rd RBI of the year, but it puts the D-Rays up 3-2. Go to the bottom of the 8th. Dave Martinez on first. Esteban Yan to Delgado. And that looks like a 463 if ever I've seen one. Yep. Carlos Delgado not getting it done on Friday night. Here's where it gets dicey. Bottom 9, still 3-2. Runners on second and third. Mickey Morandini, the shot. The throw home to get Tony Batista. Jim Fregosi comes out and points at something. Says, look at that, and look at this. Tough to tell. It looks like Batista may have beaten the swipe tag of John Flaherty. Looks like he got him a little late. Nonetheless, the call stands. So with 2 outs, Shannon Stewart steps up and steps down. Tough loss for the Blue Jays, 3-2 the final. Toronto just their second loss in the last 8 games. They have just 9 games left to make up ground. Ramon Martinez on the hill, tied at 1. The DH, Greg Myers.
Again, the runner goes.
Deep to right, and third home run of the year, 2-run shot. It's 3-1 Baltimore. Bottom 5, Mike Lansing. The shot. Look at Cal Ripken laying out. That was swell. Bottom 8, still 3-1. It's Carl Everett. And Carl Everett pinch hitting, didn't put up much of a fight. Goes down on 3 pitches, inning over. Bottom 9, Sidney Ponson induces Nomar to ground out. This thing is over. Ponce's 6th complete game of the season. The complete game 4-hitter. The Red Sox have lost 10 of 15 at Fenway. Nomar's homerless drought is now at 40 games.